Hello, good evening and welcome to a wintry Wednesday night here at Jeps Cross in the State Hockey Centre. We are getting ready for the women's game, the final of the women's game of the Statewide Super League for 2018. I am joined in pre-game by Tom Wickham, who's come over from Western Australia. You are affiliated with Forestville, but you're going to be putting on the yellow of the Storm tonight.
I am really looking forward to it. Made the call up to Pete Chirac, the CEO, and asked if there's a game or I could get a Guernsey for tonight, and he reached out, and then Huey said, yeah, jump on in and come down and have a run. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Should be fun. Because
we are getting ready for World Cup in India, and you're going to be involved in the warm-ups for that and getting ready for that, and obviously you're going to be on TV in front of an audience of thousands tonight. So you're going to be calling up the Kookaburras coach and saying, hey, just tune into Facebook, have a watch.
No, I think he's enjoying his well-earned break as well. Yeah, we're on a bit of a break now. We've got 3 weeks off and back to full training and into World Cup prep this Monday coming. So I'm enjoying the last bit of my break here. Lucky enough to still blow the cobwebs out while I'm able to have a bit of a break as well. And yeah, it should be fun.
So I know you've watched bits and bobs of the Statewide Super League as it's been on. Tonight we've got the Pirates from the West, who'll be wearing the red, taking on the Saints. So just on that, so you share time with the women's team when you go away. Have you been away to the Olympics? Did you go away to the Olympics? No, not yet.
Not the Olympics.
We're going to keep an eye on you though.
Yeah, you
so
better.
Is this going to be the first one? The World Cup's going to be the first one where Tom Wickham hits the international stage?
No, I've had a few good ones so far. The most recent one's the Com Games.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty special one. A couple other ones last year. The World League final was a really good one as well. So yeah, a couple of good ones, but hopefully we keep pushing and we get to World Cup and then Olympics.
Well, this is something that we've talked about. We've talked about it a lot in this league, is that hopefully one day we'll see the likes of Lockie Bussico and joining you wearing the green and gold of the Kookaburras. Thank you very much tonight. I hope you enjoy your run around on our little patch of green here in South Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, take a seat. Get ready for the best hockey you will see in the world this Wednesday night.
Have you thought about what your retirement looks like? Maybe overseas travel, a move to a place with a slower pace, or something else. Whatever your plan, will you have enough super? As your super team, we'll help you find and consolidate your super, expertly manage your money, and be there with you every step of the way. So whatever your retirement dreams, find out how much super you need with Statewide Super. Consider the applicable PDS before making an investment decision. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
To be the quickest.
Most dangerous.
Most resilient.
To play for glory. For pride. To thrill.
Hello, good evening and welcome once again to Jeps Cross in the State Hockey Centre. My name as always is Dave Webb. I am joined in commentary tonight for both of our games by the absolutely wonderful Brodie Gleeson. How are you, Brodie?
I'm good. It's a good weather tonight.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Better than the previous couple of weeks of rain. So
this is what Winter Wednesday should be about. It's glorious.
It is.
It's like a summer's day in England.
No wind, just nice cool weather, jackets on, chinos on. Look good, feel good.
Love it. Well, this is the conclusion of the new High Performance Initiative for Hockey SA. This is the final of the Statewide Super League for 2018. The Western Pirates will be wearing their red shirts, and the Eastern Saints will be wearing, I'm laughing already because we can hear Dan Mitchell in the background already. He's off and running. The Eastern Saints will be wearing their blue shirts. The Men's Super League will be the Southern Storm with a guest star taking on the Western Pirates. So we had 3 zone teams for both men and women, the East, the West and the South. You played in it. What are your thoughts on it?
Loved it. I think it was a great initiative. Obviously just raising the standard of the competition, playing with quality players, less time on the ball. It's like, you know, trying to mimic that AHL than the state programs that we go away for at the end of the year.
And that's been the big focus, hasn't it? Has been the AHL, which historically over the last couple of years we haven't done amazingly well in. And I say we, I mean South Australia.
The men in particular. The women hover between that 5 to 6 range, but the men have struggled in the last couple of years. But I think their best result's probably 7th, so something that we're looking to improve and get out of this slump at the moment.
Well, people to watch on tonight. One of the people we would have said normally would have been Sarah Harrison, but she's still wandering around in street clothes. I don't think she's come right from that hamstring injury. But somebody who really rose through this competition, wearing number 7, not number 8 for the Eastern Saints, is Emily Grist. She has risen in stature over this competition.
Yeah, so Emily's obviously a talented player, so she's an ex-Gillaroo squad member, so she's definitely got the pedigree. Played AHL, I think, for the last 5 or 6 years, and also 6 or 7 years at 21. So she's definitely got the pedigree to play at that level, and it's good to see the confidence coming through with a lot of these girls, to step up to that next level.
Talking about pedigree on screen, we just saw Mickey Spano, who went away with the under-21s, and they came 4th, I think, in the National Championships, the under-21 ladies.
Yep.
Looking forward to this. So this is the beauty of this Super League. You look at that the Western Pirates side, Leah Wellstead, Mickey Spano, the Appleyard sisters, Georgia Whitaker is in there as well. Kate Holland-Smith is another one who's moved over to that Western Pirates side just to keep getting hockey. And then you go over to the other side, the Eastern Saints, you've got Holly Evans, Emily Grist, as we spoke about, Yo-Yo McLaughlin is in there as well, Eliza Gray. There's talent to burn right across both of these sides. Absolutely.
The depth is phenomenal with, usually you have 7 or 8 starting players that are really great quality and it drops off, but here you're looking at all 15.
Yeah, and that's been the beauty of it. And that, we said it tongue in cheek, and I'm sure for any left backs out there, this will be taken in the way that it's meant. Normally, your weakest player will go in the left back position, and even now and even tonight, your left back is, the talent is going to be up there.
Correct. Yeah, usually it's like your forward pocket in footy, but here
that's where I played.
But yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more. Like the talent all over the field. We'll see a great game.
We'll just stand out for the minister, I reckon. So obviously we have Peter Chirac, who's the CEO of Hockey SA. He's talking as well. A little bit more pomp and circumstance in the coin toss for the grand final. So the captains wise, we'll have Leah Wellstead for the Western Pirates and Holly Evans and Corey Wingard, the Minister for Sport, doing the coin toss. VIPs. The Honourable Corey Wingard is in charge of the coin wrangling tonight. He was very nice words about Hockey SA. And I will doff my hat as well again to the staff before I forget, all of the staff. And we have to mention the people in the background, Josie Rabet, who works extremely hard. All the members of the Pines who keep me fed and watered, and you fed and nuggeted.
Correct, you got to get them nuggets in.
Got to get the nuggets in. The ground staff, Max Bale's been involved with the grounds at the moment. Jimmy Mitten's been doing some work, and there is another person who helps on the grounds. I just can't remember his name right now. Attractive fella, dark hair, beard. Brody Gleason, that's him. So it's a real community effort, isn't it, to try and get this place ready to go. There's a huge amount of people who do a load of work behind the scenes for this.
Yeah, and I think it's good that they're getting some recognition, and it's, I think that, you know, generally goes under the work, the behind the scenes that Josie does, especially to get this up, contacting not only yourself at Space Boat Sports, but Statewide Super, getting all of this organised, getting the Facebook stuff going. I think it's a really good initiative.
It is great, and we are watched all around the country and all around the world. It has had an impact all around the world, the Statewide Super League. It's been seen on Instagram and things like that, so it's certainly it's had the impact it's meant to have. Now, you're not playing in the grand final tonight, obviously, because you'll be with me. That's the interesting thing, and the look on your face and the slight tinge of disappointment in your voice would suggest that this does mean something.
Absolutely, you're always playing for pride. And we are competitive beasts by nature, and that's why we play at this level. So it's obviously disappointing that we didn't make it, but in saying that, we didn't perform in the games that were necessary, given the last round. So all we needed was a draw to beat and to get in the Pirates, and unfortunately we lost, and that's a bitter pill to swallow. But yeah.
Well, let's concentrate on the women. We'll talk about the men. We'll talk about the men when we get ready for the men's game. But let's talk about the women. So this Western Pirates team, it's made up mostly of the last year's premiers, the Port Adelaide Magpies, and there's a couple of other players in there as well. And they're playing against what is mostly an Adelaide Peas side. Do they bring club rivalry to the Super League?
Yes and no. So you like your zone becomes almost a new club. So I'm assuming what's like a professional athlete changing clubs when they get drafted and such. Like you develop your own little bond, and some of these girls played together in state teams together already, or played in similar zones for coming up during their junior career.
What I would like to see, and we'll see whether there's any decision makers from Hockey SA listening, I'd like to see a full draft, so we could possibly in the future see Sarah Harrison taking on Brooke Appleyard. Mate against mate.
I did suggest that to Max Bale.
How good would that be?
And even having a televised draft as well.
Yes.
So, you know, getting your impact afterwards, having a chat with the person drafted, because I'd love to see it go number one. Like, as a coach, you know, what is the most important player out there? Do you go for a goalie or? Okay,
well, I'm going to limit you to the two sides that are out here now. Who's your number one draft pick? And I do know that there is a personal reason, and I'm sure she will still speak to you afterwards. Who would be your number one pick now? I know who mine would be.
Look, I'd have to go, as you said earlier on, is Em. Obviously, with that, the personal touch as well. But her ability to play everywhere, so playing a DM at Clublands, going back to right half here, just to shore up their defensive line, and would be surprised to see her go forward up into the striker line later game if they are chasing.
I would go the lady on screen right now. I'd go Mickey Spano, number one.
Who gets it to the forwards, though? That's my question.
But she'll get you a bucket load of goals if she's on form.
And that's the thing, is do you go for the person that can change the game or the person that keeps you in it? And
we could argue about this all night.
And it's a great topic to talk about, and that's what I'd love to see if we did a draft.
So we are underway, and the Eastern Saints wearing the blue will be attacking the left of your screen, and the Western Pirates in the red and black will be attacking the right of your screen on an absolutely perfect night here in Jeps Cross. We are underway for the grand final of the Statewide Super League 2018, the inaugural grand final of the Statewide Super League. What do you expect to see? Do you expect to see a slow and steady and try and find, or will one really try and push the tempo?
I think Port Adelaide are known for being a quite fast attacking side, so I'd look for them to be quite direct, whereas I think the eastern side will look to hold the ball and try to build play up and score off well-positioned play.
So as we have started off with the Pirates in possession mostly. We are just underway, but the Pirates are relentless at times with their pressure. So we are about ready to go. With Belton will look to start us off, and she'll go down the line to Spano. Spano through the legs to Wellstead, and then we'll get it back. Spano now, Maisie run into the circle. Will come off her foot though. I have a funny story. If we get a break, I will tell you about it. Out to Shand. Shand does well to keep it in. Again, huge pressure high up from Appleyard, but Shand will take over. Slipped it in board to McLaughlin, but lost it. Spano, 2-on-1, will send it out. First chance on goal, good save, still in the circle, still not finished. 4 or 5 goes and it turns into a penalty corner.
It'd almost be harder to not put that in from that close.
She had a fair go at it.
Well done there by Gracie Henderson to keep that one out.
Courtney Rudd, who has been on absolute fire in this Super League season, the statewide Super League season, and in the Premier League as well. But as they go out to take the short corner, I'll get it in quickly. I did some AFL the other week, and the first free kick of the game, I called it a free hit.
Good.
So Wellstead will look for the injection. Double battery, trap is there. Appleyard will drag, it gets through the legs. Opening goal very, very early on. Henderson did very, very well and just didn't get enough of the foot behind it on that one. 1 penalty corner, 1 goal. That's what they want to see. That's what the coach wants to see.
Yeah, just a bit of indecision. She was thinking it was going right and it then came back left. So, you know, good disguise on that by Lindsay Appleyard to pull it back to the goalkeeper's right.
Could be exactly what a final needs is an early goal. Just to light the blue touch paper under it. The Eastern Saints have to come out now. So Appleyard at the back. Strikes it forward, beats everybody and will roll harmlessly into touch. Good old Buff over there, patrolling the line again.
A serviceable ball kid. Been here for every game, I think.
I think he has. He's a fixture. Rather more ball kids now that the weather's improved.
Yeah.
Down the line to Holland Smith. She'll find Appleyard in infield. Grist will make the challenge, but did come off a foot. Pirates not in any great hurry at the moment. Holland Smith again over on that far side. Decides to go towards the byline. Came across that byline where we saw that intriguing goal for the Western Pirates, where the ball just refused to go out on its way down that byline.
It's a good post-up receive there by Wellstead as she enters the baseline.
Just couldn't get away from Shand. Limp it like the young lady from Adelaide. Belton will look to restart, then go down the line to Holland Smith, who's done a ton of work early. Had her name called a couple of times. Sent it into Wellstead, but Wellstead is corralled away. The Saints will look to come out. Sam McKenna looked to go down the line. I had it cut out by Appleyard. Smart turn from Appleyard. Then went down the line to Collins. We'll go harmlessly behind. And the Saints in no great rush to get things moving. One of the things we talked about a couple of times during the Statewide Super League is fast doesn't always necessarily mean high tempo.
No, exactly. So it's almost that frantic versus intense. So you don't want a frantic game, you want an intense game.
And Spanner went down quite hard, a little bit slow to get up.
Early, let's go!
Special comments from Dan Mitchell, as per usual. Good down the line by Evans, just couldn't bring it under control by Solvenderin. Back to Appleyard. Appleyard will look in field and finds Ford. Ford had a couple of blue shirts in front of her, does well and manages to just bully her way through in the end. Then we'll look to reverse it through, but Grist gets in the way.
There's that direct play that I spoke of earlier. Port happy, or the Pirates in particular, given that they are a majority Port team, will look to go direct if they can.
Solvenderin will look to carry away. Has that Wellstead for company. Solvenderin dropped it back off to Evans, who couldn't keep it in. Wellstead will go. Cross into the 25. But it had come off a foot. Evans versus Carter. It's a pint-sized battle between the two of them. Saints again trying to get out, but the forward press from the Pirates is very, very good. Grist looked inside. Appleyard has come out to play tonight. McLaughlin will win the ball back and beat a couple. Long arms affair managed to knock that ball away. Then we'll get a circle entry. Another nice little ball inside, probably looking for a penalty corner. Salvendran does well to stop it going. Salvendran gets a shot on goal. McLaughlin does well. Great save eventually by Amy Hammond.
Well constructed there by the Eastern Saints. Unfortunately, just unable to capitalise.
Shand will go back, then it will go out to Grist on the far side. Grist will look for another circle entry. Came off a foot, but just outside. But Appleyard of the Lindsay variety. She's put her hockey shoes on today, hasn't she?
She's going to be one of those figures that you'll see a lot today playing through the midfield.
Good work on the byline. The Saints will keep it in. Try and get it into a dangerous position. Goes through the legs of everyone. Comes out to Shand. Shand will fire it across the front again. Was a little bit messy. Everyone appealed for it. Umpire thought about it. Umpire gave it.
Yep. There's a few clashes in there. I'm not sure if he hit a foot or if it came off a stick. But there was definitely a bit of noise.
Well, I think when every single player in a blue shirt appeals, there's a good chance that somebody's seen something. So we'll have a look at what the Eastern Saints can do. Carly Hoffman will wander over to inject the double battery, which we've seen a couple of times.
Would look for a Yelena McLaughlin drag flicker. And
so it will be McLaughlin. McLaughlin will fire it towards goal. Comes out again. McLaughlin will chase, but Wellstead will get there first. Wellstead kept it in. Umpire quite hadn't got into position, so she was given a little bit of leeway. Ford will find Wellstead. Wellstead will send it down the line to Dawes. Dawes will get going forward, just gets caught under her feet a little bit and allowed Salvendran to get back, but Dawes will keep going and just lose control of it.
Just ran out of tarmac at the end.
With the wingspan like that, she needs a fair amount to take off. Long, rangy player from Port Adelaide. She will cause a lot of problems and a big test for defenders. Shan signalling to Grist. Sure she fancied the overhead all the way across, but goes down the line. Knocked away eventually by Pennington, which will allow the Pirates to build from just inside their own half. Yeah, a little bit of discussion, but a free hit to the Saints. Defender was in there when the overhead came down. Passed into traffic, but she'll manage to get away from it, Pennington. Then turned back into it and wins the free hit. Plays on quickly. Looks for a quick ball forward. Gets it. Shand on the overlap.
Oh.
Little reverse pass just cut out by Dawes, but Shand, tenacious, manages to overturn it just on the edge of the circle. Now the Saints are starting to put their own high pressure on. And they will win another free hit. Just a period of extended pressure from the Saints.
And I think that's a big call from Daniel Mitchell underneath.
Grist will send it across the back. McKenna was at the back post, just couldn't turn it goalwards. So sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's all right. Mitchell down there is definitely talking about, you know, increasing the pressure, winning those 50-50 balls. So it's good to see that the Eastern Saints are going forward and going in droves as well, not just going one out.
So 5 minutes to go, or 5 minutes and 20 odd seconds to go in the first quarter of the first final for 2018. Pennington will send it down the line. It will find its way through to Carter. Carter tried to knock it back to Cass, had it taken away. The Saints again will try and build that pressure. One player outside of the defensive 25 for the Pirates. Now they will turn it over. There's just no outlet at the moment, and McLaughlin will go. McLaughlin will get another circle entry. Send it inside to Carter. Carter has a stolen offer by Lindsay Appleyard, but again, just no outlet at all. Evans Happy to go backwards to go forwards. Big overhead, but there's a chase for Cass.
Just done a good effort, just a centimetre too late.
One of the signatures of the Statewide Super League has been Cass working very, very hard on her own up front. Kept out of the air, and Evans will put pressure on Holland-Smith, but Holland-Smith manages to come away, gets her head up, and will find Spano. Spano has the door slammed in her face, and Selvenderen will pick it up, and Spano will work back, make the challenge back at halfway. But again, pressure is good from the Saints. Carly Hoffman trying to shut down any attack launch. Evans will send it out to Cass. Cass will slip it in field, but nobody there but Lindsay Appleyard. Pirates desperately looking for an outlet. They will find one in Spano. Spano manages to get under control, loses it straight away to Bridgeland. Evans will take over. Uncharacteristically loose pass from Evans will find Rudd. Rudd will send it back into Spano. Spano approaches the circle. Oh! Well, my heart was in my mouth. Grace Henderson obviously knew where that was. I think Grace Henderson was the only one in this stadium who thought that was okay. Shame.
You got to back the confidence on how wide your goals are.
Spano, now there is an odd man break, just passed a little bit behind. Henderson comes out quickly, forces the shot wide. It was outside from Henderson, but there was a couple of people behind us, me included, I think. Quick outlet to McLaughlin. Sends it out to the far side. Back to Grist. Cross to Waters. Waters will send it to... It's Waters, isn't it?
Matt Waters.
Waters.
Yeah,
I think
double T.
So Cass will win the free hit. Inside the Pirates half, Evans will look to fire it towards goal off the back of the leg of Appleyard, who walks it off like nothing's happened.
She's a tough player, young Lindsay. It'll take a lot more than that to put her down.
So our umpires tonight, Matthew Knight and Ryan Manser. Awarded one penalty corner each. Spano will pick the pocket of Grist. Nice little turn from Collins, but couldn't keep it under control. Did the hard part. Just chopped it into Evans. Couldn't bring it under control, and now the Pirates can look to build a little bit of pressure themselves. Brooke Appleyard will send it over to her sister, who couldn't quite control it. Appleyard will win that battle. Send it to Holland-Smith. Get it back inside the circle. Then look for Spano. Spano fights hard. Won through the battle, just couldn't get it on target. We're into the final minute of the first quarter. The Saints still trailing this one, 1-0. Has gone out. If it was a boxing match, you'd say they won the round on points, even though they were knocked down.
Yeah, it's been, you know, the scoreline doesn't really reflect the turn of the game. Both sides have had their opportunities. The Saints had that 5 to 6 minutes in the middle of it, but the start and the finish has really been dominated by the Pirates as we see them go to another counter-attack.
Holland-Smith will carry it forward. Just backed off so Smith can fire at goal. Just pulled it a little bit too wide, and it'll be another 16-yard hit. Whether they want to stand on that and let the quarter run out, I think is where we're going to go. We will go into quarter time. The Saints trailing 1-0. The goal came from Lindsay Appleyard from a penalty corner. The Pirates have got the important stat, which is the goal. But you would say that the Saints, for the majority of the first quarter, were the better team. We've seen a lot of this Pirates side, both in the statewide Super League and also as the Port Adelaide Magpies last year. Very rare that you see them as rattled as they were in parts in that.
Yeah, they're a generally composed team. Even in grand finals, they've gone down and still been quite composed. So it is good to see that a team can get to them, because it is something that we don't see very often. So, but in saying that, they didn't concede during that time, so they did regain composure pretty quickly to come back and dominate the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think that, you know, we've seen that side, and you know they're back into a position where, you know, they're back into a position where they're used to being, which is in front and defending the lead. There is a stat though, which I know that my producer David Muggleton he loves his stats. There has never been a team that has been behind in the first quarter of a statewide Super League that has come back to win it.
Really?
Never.
Just the
statewide Super League. Just the statewide Super League.
Just the statewide Super League.
Statewide Super League. Team has never come from behind to win it. In fairness, though, on the other hand, a team leading a quarter time has never won it. Because it's the first one, Brody.
Yes.
They're not as funny if you have to explain them.
Yeah, I was getting there slowly. It's been a long day.
But it is the perfect end to this day. It is a perfect. I brought my hat and I don't need it. That's how beautiful it is tonight. But as far as the coaches go, there's not too much for Dan Mitchell to be unhappy about.
No, absolutely. They've had their opportunities, had the penalty corners, had a couple of good goal shots with Yolanda McLaughlin, as well as Chloe Carter having a couple from the top. So there's nothing to be disappointed about. It's obviously just that execution when they do go forward that they'd like to improve on. Because if they're 1-0 here, they'd be very happy with that. But again, you know, chasing the lead still isn't ideal.
It's not, but let's see what they can do as they will start again with McLaughlin and Shand working in tandem. And then they will go out to Grist. Just again, uncharacteristically loose pass. We'll have a look and see whether there's any Facebook comments. Chloe Dawes' mum is watching from Perth. I don't think she's missed a game for her daughter. Gloria Lindorf saying go Pirates. There's a lot of Pirates support out there on Facebook land. Not much for the Saints. You'll have to get onto your Facebook and start.
Yeah, I might have to.
Get the East Coast Massive up and running.
Get the P-Men into it.
The P-Man, is that what you call yourself? There you go. Grist will fire it down the line to Cass. Cass does well to bring it under control. Having to work hard. Wins the free hit, about as good as you can get from Cass. There wasn't much going on in front of her and had Abby Mitten to deal with. Now the blue shirts can get there. They're happy to come back to Grist though. Grist will look to carry across the 25, then try to thread a pass to Salvenderen. Puts the pressure on Appleyard. Tried to go down the line but couldn't find a red shirt. A little bit of a dangerous pass across the front to Bridgeland, who had Dawes for company and probably rushed her a little bit into the pass, which was intercepted by Wellstead. Whitaker with challenge by Salvenderen. Finally will have it poked away. So Bridget Belton will send it towards the middle. Loose control will get picked up by McLaughlin, who'll send it out to that far side. Out towards Carly Hoffman, who sent it down the line, just asked a little bit too much of Chloe Carter. And the Pirates will be able to relieve the pressure and come away. Well, fired forward and Carter will get a stick on it. Just diverted towards McLaughlin. And Shand will send it to Salvenderen. Salvenderen looked for Cass, gets there eventually. Cass almost has a stick stolen from her. McLaughlin will look to start. Goes to Shand. Has it poked away by Mitten. One of the many family names that we see in hockey. Is she related? She must be related to Jimmy Mitten.
No
Not at
relation.
all?
Not that I know
One
of,
of
no.
the few, I would assume. Grist will play on, then look to go inside. Back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin will beat the first one, just a little bit too heavy. Finally gets it across the front. Deflected out towards Shand. Shand happy to go back to Waters. Finally they will find Cass down in that far corner. Cass will beat the first into the danger area, sends it across the front. No blue sticks could get any, I was going to say wood on it, but they're probably not made of wood anymore, are they, hockey sticks?
No, they're Kevlar carbon fibre combinations generally, so...
Nobody could get a Kevlar carbon fibre combination on it as it flashed across the front.
Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
It does. At least it's illiterate. Not illiterate, at least it has alliteration. Back to Appleyard. Appleyard will send it forward. So nobody in particular. And the Saints will go again. McLaughlin will pick it up in midfield. Deflection still will find its way through to Shan though. McLaughlin asks for it back, gets it. Evans on the overlap, will get it as she crosses the 25. Happy to go one more, circle entry, just fluffed it a little bit. And Appleyard will look to come away. Good challenge though. And the Saints will get it back just outside and win the free hit just outside. Evans will go quickly. Evans will look to get it across the front. Will find its way to Carter. Selvendran at the back post. Can't get it under control, but it's going to come back in. Does come back in. Appleyard fires it away. Anywhere will do for Appleyard.
Great build-up play there by the Saints. Transition from one side to the other. Had overlapping halfbacks going forward. Good circle entry. Again, just unable to capitalise when they go forward.
It's all about finishing, which is why I would have picked Mickey Spano first. Intercepted, but it finally will find its way through and will make its way through to Pennington. Pennington looks for McLaughlin. McLaughlin gets going, but is shut down by Holland Smith. Pirates will look to build again. Spano comes back inside, ends up on the carpet, delayed whistle. I wasn't sure she was going to get it then. Holland Smith will go quickly. That will be fired across the front. Another penalty corner. Pirates on 100% at the moment. It's those moments, isn't it? They came off the foot of Evans in front, I think. Not a lot she could have done about it.
She tried her best to get out of the way and it just followed her down.
But it just goes to show, you would say in the last, well, the first, 6 minutes of this game, this quarter, sorry, that the Saints were on top.
Correct, yeah.
In a matter of seconds, we're back to penalty corner and it's a big, big threat. Spano and Appleyard up the top. Wellstead will go near side to Rudd. Rudd will fire it forward. Good save by Henderson. It's going to come back though. Cut out well at the top. Now they can break. Evans, first time, will send it forward. Find Hoffman. Hoffman has a couple of options. Just wanted a bit too much time and Appleyard will shut it down. Challenge from Evans. Disagrees somewhat with the umpire, but again, a rushed outlet ball from the Pirates. We don't see that very often.
They're just looking direct, trying to catch the Saints when they're not set up, because when they have been set up, they've generally snuffed the play out, but this is something that Port and the Pirates are really going to have to change and hold possession if they do want to break down this defence.
That's gone forward and did come off a red stick, so the Saints will be able to rebuild. Cass will go and get it. Ball kids have decided to have a little bit of a break.
And as I mentioned earlier, M's going into the forward line now that they're chasing a goal.
Evans will start us off. Happy to come all the way back to Waters. Over to the far side. Bridgeland sends it in field. McLaughlin does well to get hold of it and then will keep it in the air. Look for another circle entry. They have got a circle entry, another shot on goal. Good save from Hammond. Great save from Hammond. That had something behind it, that shot on goal.
Good quick shot there on the back foot from Pennington, but again, great save.
Shan starts them off, then we'll go down into that bottom corner and Carter will battle hard Turns into a red wall, but wins the free hit. Shand looks to go, does go. Shand will get another free hit just outside. Good place to give up that free hit if you have to. Another circle entry. That one will find its way to the danger area. And again, the Pirates will clear, but only just. Every single Pirate inside the defensive 25. Now they will break with Appleyard. Appleyard will send it forward to Collins. Collins has Spano in front of her. Can she find Spano? Yes, she can. Spano, first touch, second touch, goal. In the blink of an eye, the Pirates double their lead. Talked about them on the break. First time we've seen them on the break really punish the Saints.
Yeah, almost really well done there by Georgie Bridgen, but unfortunately couldn't get the stick on it. She did all the hard work, and then, as you spoke about, it takes one person to finish at the end, and there she is.
Can we talk for a moment about the weight of that pass?
Well weighted.
That was incredibly well weighted. If Spano could have gone out and put the ball where she wanted it, that's probably where she would have done it.
Any closer and the defenders pick that off. Any further and the goalie's got it. So, you know, credit to Collins there. That's a great ball.
It's about as close to perfection as we've seen so far. People will talk about the top 10 goals, and I know I'm waxing a little lyrical about it. That for me has been one of the greatest moments of this Statewide Super League that we've seen. The weight of that pass, because I thought she'd underdone it initially. Just too far in front of Dawes.
It was a great counter attack, and then you see, you know, the rewards for it when you do run hard early.
I'm speechless. But the Pirates will go again. Another circle entry for Appleyard. Appleyard will fire it at the back. A little bit too high, so the Saints will be able to relieve the pressure. The Pirates just ramping up the pressure as we approach the last 5 minutes of this first half. Out to McLaughlin. To Evans. Down the line, but nobody there. Cassidy coming for a short ball. Appleyard will send it down the line, and again, the control just not there from Dawes.
Just a missed pass there by McLaughlin. And then the Pirates are away, long corner. Wellstead's got the ball.
Wellstead will send it across. That's come off the stick of Collins. First the pass, now the finish. Gee, she's having a night out.
As a drafted athlete as well, so playing against a team she could have been playing for.
She's from Grange, isn't she?
No, Northeast.
Northeast. So, in the blink of an eye, they've gone from 1 goal down to 3 goals down. Pirates, as we said, just as we reached, you know, red time for the second half, for the first half, have just twisted the knife a little bit, put a little bit more pressure on. Appleyard will fire it forward. Evans cuts it out, finds Shand. Pass just stood Shand up, and they'll have to go all the way back to Bridgeland. Now it's the Saints who are struggling to come out of their 25. We'll find an outlet to Shand. Shand will send it down the line to Grist. Grist one-on-one, what can she do? Works inside, will get a circle entry, will keep going. Grist does very, very well. Then it will come to McLaughlin. Broke perfectly for Cass, but she just lost it.
Feel like there's a short corner in there, but no communication from the umpires.
Cass carries it, has it poked away. Pirates again will look to break. Appleyard will swing at it, chop it away.
So I feel like it comes off the goalkeeper into the body of the player, and
that's why Cass lost it. She did have a look back, but that's a very, very good ball. Just could not bring it under control. Pennington would run another go at that. Wholesale changes down in front of us for the Pirates. That one's a loose pass, and it is taken by Hoffman. Hoffman just couldn't get it under control, did not want to be wrangled. And she'll give away the free hit. Appleyard will go quickly. Spano had it knocked into her legs. Evans not happy with the decision. but it will come back. End-to-end stuff, just a little bit behind McLaughlin, just ships it onto Evans. Evans decides to go back towards McLaughlin. McLaughlin gets it under control, has Spano for company, reverse pass down to this near side. Again, it will bounce around. McLaughlin does well, tries to get it under control, does get it under control, comes off the foot of McLaughlin. Just over 2 minutes to go in this first half. Really, the tempo is picked up.
That third goal is just, it's really switched on both teams.
Jackson hit it into the Saints player, but then will finally get it away. Georgia Whitaker sends it back inside. Salvendrin will poke it away. Salvendrin will come back, then wheel around, try and get around that far side. Has it stolen off her by Mitten. Mitten will send it forward to Kelsey Benchy. Just couldn't get it under control, put it too far in front. And the Saints will have the push in from the sideline. Came to Evans. Evans will send it across to Shand. Shand will send it forward. Again, just control, letting Carly Hoffman down. Nice little lift down the line, but picked off by Carter. Carter will send it to McLaughlin. Kind of fluff the pass. Running out of options. Finds an outlet over to the far side. To Bridgeland. Bridgeland will send it down the line to Salvendrin.
Good pick up there by Brooke Appleyard. I thought she got all stick on that one, and a bit of chat to the umpire.
Right,
so I think
smile
she did.
for the umpire. It looked all stick from where we were, but Salvendrin will look to restart. Little touch from McLaughlin, but illegally, and the umpire squares the ledger. Appleyard with 30 seconds to go will play to herself, then find an outlet pass to Wellstead. Lovely disguise on the pass. Wellstead now will go head up. Ponytail bouncing as she goes. It will find its way to Dawes. Dawes tried to work down the back, but knocked away by Evans, giving away the long corner as we enter the last 10 seconds. Mitten wants to go, has it knocked away by McLaughlin, who'll just clear it away, and that will probably bring us to half time. And in the blink of an eye, we went from the Saints trailing by the solo goal to now being 3-0 down. Brody and I will be back with you to discuss everything about this first half after this short break.
Have you thought about what your retirement looks like? Maybe overseas travel, a move to a place with a slower pace, or something else. Whatever your plan, will you have enough super? As your super team, we'll help you find and consolidate your super, expertly manage your money, and be there with you every step of the way. So whatever your retirement dreams, find out how much super you need with Statewide Super. Consider the applicable PDS before making an investment decision. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
So welcome to halftime here at the Statewide Super Grand Final. Statewide Super League Grand Final. I'll get it right in a minute. I mean, I've only had like all winter to deal with it.
6 rounds.
Yes, been absolutely fine. Tonight has been absolutely beautiful. The weather tonight is absolutely outstanding. And not only that, the hockey has been absolutely outstanding. I want to talk, first of all, about the Western Pirates. They are 3 goals up.
Yep.
But if you just looked at this on paper, you would say, Western Pirates 3 goals up, they're obviously walking it in. It's not the case, is it?
No. So as we spoke about that first half, the Eastern Saints have had a majority of the play in the middle of both those quarters, but unable to capitalise with those circle entries. And that's going to be the tail of the tape if they don't fix that at half time, which going by what I can hear in the background, is a big thing from Daniel Mitchell.
Well, Daniel Mitchell, he got less vocal, I think, as the half went on. But one of the things I want to mention, Amy Hammond, because she's not had a lot to do, but when she's had those questions asked, she's been able to answer them and answer them well.
Exactly. So, you know, hasn't conceded, had probably 3 or 4 really good shots on her from in close quarters and saved all of them. So that's probably the big difference here, really.
And when we talk about the Eastern Saints from an attacking point of view, they've really worked hard, and Salvenderan's been good. Sherilyn Cass, as per usual, has worked really, really hard up front. McLaughlin has marshalled that midfield. Krista's been a little bit quieter than we're used to seeing her. We'd like to see, I want to see her grow into this second half, but they can't be overly disappointed. I know you're down 3-0, but they can't be overly disappointed with the way they played.
No, absolutely you can't. You know, games change so quickly, and that's the idea behind these quarters, is momentum shifts in an instant. As we did say, you know, 1 goal turns into 3 in 2 minutes, so they won't be disappointed. Daniel is trying some things. Obviously sent Gris from a half-back up forward. Also pulled other players back into that midfield line. Chloe Carter's been exceptional for the Saints going forward. Again, they're just unable to capitalise.
So for Matt Cunningham, going into half-time, 3 goals up, the coach of the Western Pirates, he's going to be happy with that. But, again, they haven't had it all their own way. What's really interesting, Courtney Rudd, other than those attempts that we saw in the first half, and I think in the first quarter where she's had a couple of goals, she's been really, really quiet. Mickey Spano has been kept quiet, and really, I can't overstate, because you were dead right. That pass from Collins, if it's a millimetre too not strong enough, then Bridgeland picks it up. If it's a little bit too strong, then Grace Henderson will cut that out. And it's really been the only chance that Spano has had to be Mickey Spano.
Yeah, and again, it all comes off how well that pass was, and it's something that we can't really, you know, understate. But it's probably been the difference to us in that second quarter, how well that pass changed the game, because they scored again 30 seconds, 40 seconds later from Collins, the passer, getting into good space.
So the Statewide Super League is halfway done. The final of the Statewide Super League is halfway done. The Pirates will lead this one 3-0. This game is not over, though. Ladies and gentlemen, strap in for what should be an absolutely ripping second half of hockey.
Have you thought about what your retirement looks like? Maybe overseas travel, a move to a place with a slower pace, or something else. Whatever your plan, will you have enough super? As your super team, we'll help you find and consolidate your super, expertly manage your money, and be there with you every step of the way. So whatever your retirement dreams, find out how much super you need with Statewide Super. Consider the applicable PDS before making an investment decision. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
To be the quickest.
Most dangerous.
Most resilient.
To play for glory. For pride. To thrill.
So welcome back to the third quarter. Now, we can't go into the third quarter without saying a big thank you to our sponsors, the Statewide Super, who have sponsored the Statewide Super League and the other naming sponsor. Proudly South Australian business for over 30 years, Statewide Super are committed supporters of the local community and its members across a variety of sectors. With a strong belief that sport is an integral part of our state's culture and a dedication to growing local sporting talent, Hockey SA are thrilled to have Statewide Super support and partnership in the introduction of this significant opportunity for talented SA athletes. Create yourself a super future. Talking about creating yourself a super future, some of these girls we will hopefully see in the green and gold of the Hockeyroos. Also, we should say, talking about the green and gold, the red and the blue tonight is supplied by Just Hockey. They are the uniform sponsor. They supplied everyone with everything.
Correct.
You got a nice little hoodie and a warm-up t-shirt and your playing shirt and your shorts and
socks.
Socks.
The whole shebang.
That's your entire winter wardrobe sorted, isn't it? So we are underway on the third quarter, the Premiership quarter. See whether the Saints can drag themselves back into this. Shand will send it out to Gray. Gray went down the line. McKenna had it, then lost it. Nice close passing. We'll find it eventually on the stick of Appleyard. We found the foot of Evans. So, put yourself in the substantial shoes of Dan Mitchell. What would your halftime team talk have been?
My big thing would, as I've mentioned a couple of times, is just putting away the chances. Like, they've worked hard, but they haven't reaped any benefits or reward for it. So just that composure in the circle to find either the extra pass or get the shot on target. And he looks like he has done that. Holly Evans has gone from the defensive midfield line into the AM line. And obviously, I mentioned earlier that M. Gris has gone from halfback to striker. So they are putting some firepower forward in an effort to get those goals.
And if I put you in the equally substantial shoes of Matt Cunningham, what's your words of wisdom for the Western Pirates?
It's just to keep doing what you're doing, weather the storm when it does come your way, and as soon as you see an opportunity, you've got to go, and you've got to go quickly, and I think that's what they've done really well.
So Evans will pick up the ball and send it down the line towards Grist. We'll see whether they can start that storm. Was that a weather the storm? Was the pun on purpose? Are you growing as a commentator?
Unfortunately, that was not. The next game it will definitely be used, though. It's in my repertoire.
It's in your repertoire. It's an ever-expanding repertoire. Down the line for the Pirates. They will cross into the 25 again. That one will be poked away by Bridgeland. Can send it down the line. Come back in field to Cass, who just couldn't get hold of that one. Came across at a rate of knots. There is Emily Grist. I'd like to see her grow into this game a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Wellstead will turn inside. McLaughlin got a deflection on it. Not enough to get it away from Ford though, but it will be turned over. Evans has Cass working hard in front of her, at least to pull the defender away. Good ball from the inside to Cass. Has a number of players to beat. Still there, and again Henderson will get a kick to it. Still in the circle. Can't get it out. Generally when it's bouncing around in the circle for that amount of time, the two arms are going to point at the goal, and second penalty corner of the night for the Eastern Saints. It's the start you want to your third quarter, isn't it?
It is, and if they can put this away, I'd expect both teams to shift a gear and go to that, second half of that first quarter and second quarter even, where they just both teams flipped.
So McLaughlin is there. Salvendron will put in. Shand is at the top as well. Double battery. McLaughlin is kind of on her own. Waters is there. It will go towards Waters. Waters will fire it towards goal. There's a stick on it from Appleyard. Cass will try and get it back to Evans, and the save will come, and it will be another long corner. Amy Hammond has been absolutely outstanding. I haven't been counting her saves, but numbers starting to rise. Shand looking for that circle entry. Another free hit. She'll play to herself again. Then we'll fire it across the front. Cass will get something on it, and it's come off the foot of Cass. Appleyard will come out to Wellstead. Happy to go backwards, but cut out by Cass. Cass has an option inside, finds the option inside, has to turn around, come off the back of the stick, did not get there, and then that will be dragged wide by Cass. The option of Sam McKenna inside, and McKenna got it onto the back stick, just couldn't generate enough power to cause Amy Hammond an issue. Appleyard will just fire it away.
Yeah, the Saints have definitely changed their press. They've gone more aggressive, gone to that full press, trying to win the ball up the pitch earlier. And so far it has been working in the first 4 minutes.
Well, the third quarter has been completely different to the way that Amy Hammond had to deal with the last couple of quarters. They are getting closer. They are zeroing in, the Saints. Can they finally hit the target? Oh, go all the way through to Grist. I don't think she was expecting it.
Going by the facial expressions, I'd agree with that one. Disappointed though, regardless.
I think she thought that would have got cut out somewhere between her and the defender. Appleyard to Appleyard.
Back to Appleyard.
Back to Appleyard. Out to the far side. Belton will send it forward. And again, Rudd will move into a dangerous position. Happy to come back inside to Spano. Shand intercepted it, but Spano won it back. Now it will come away with Waters. Spano will knock it away. Shand versus Spano. So not too long ago they were teammates.
Yeah, only 2 weeks ago. There's a few girls out here that played in that 21s tournament that both of these coaches coached together.
Evans will start to range forward. She'll cross the 25, then send it out to Shand. Get it back from Shand. Circle entry comes in. Chloe Carter didn't know much about it. Did enough to get it going, at least goalwards. Just not goalwards enough. Again, the Saints knocking on the door. To use your wonderful Pirates pun, they are having to weather the storm somewhat. McLaughlin will pick it up. Happy to drop it back to Shand. Shand will carry and then send it forward. Little one-time ball to Evans. Back to Shand. Fired it across, but too far behind Bridgeland. We see Waters, who's played in the sweeper role a lot tonight. Again, it's been deflected and will find its way to Shand. Shand with a lovely weighted ball in towards Carter. Oh. Carter runs straight into Ford. Manages to keep going. Again off the foot of Cass. Abby Mitchell will play to herself. Send it forward. Spanner will deflect it, but it will only go as far as Waters. Waters look to pick a pass. Again, McLaughlin will clean up the scraps. Shan look forward, nothing there. Goes back to Gray, back to Waters. Out on the far side to Bridgeland. Bridgeland couldn't get it under control and will relieve a little bit of pressure for the Pirates. We have a drummer down way to our right. Banging on the thing just right by our microphone. We got a little bit of a drum break. So the Pirates again from around their own 25. And the Saints will now look to build. Cass carries it into the 25. Happy to go back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin will look forward, has it picked off by Appleyard. Appleyard now will look for a release to Dawes. Couldn't quite get it under control, but again, those long arms of Dawes causing all sorts of issues for Waters. Now she'll come back inside. And she'll win the free hit. So the thing about Chloe Dawes is her first touch isn't always the best, but her range.
Yeah. She gets 2 or 3 goes at it in the space that someone gets one, and that's what makes her so dangerous. She doesn't have to be as clean because she can beat you with her length as well.
Appleyard will send it to Ford. Ford will go one more to Mitten. Mitten sends it into the middle. Dangerous ball. Oh, they all thought about it.
It was definitely a Pirate's foot, so I'm glad to see that calmer heads prevailed.
Out to Shand. Now they are starting to make a little bit of an impact. Carter will get the circle entry, then send it across the middle, and it will come off a foot. Another penalty corner to the Saints, the third one of the night. Yet to score. Have been on target a couple of times, but yet to score. Wonder whether we'll see any level of variation from the Saints.
I I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an offline, so looking for a deflector outside the goals, because at the moment it's pretty hard to go through Amy Hammond, so why not go around her?
And most of them have been pretty straightforward with the trap and the strike. McLaughlin had a go drag flicking in the first quarter, but they have set up as if Cass is on the far post, the near post as we look at it. Trap will come to McLaughlin. McLaughlin will send it towards the back post. That's exactly what they were trying, just couldn't quite finish it.
I think she accidentally got underneath that one. If that was going flat, I reckon they were doing a fishing variation where Emily Grist comes through and deflects it over the keeper on her reverse stick. But again, that's the idea, and that's probably the execution side of it that they would want, is that variability going through.
Pirates again looking to get out. Cass will pick it up and manage to send it down the line off a Western Pirates stick.
Yeah, I probably didn't help you with that one earlier.
You didn't, not earlier, but I will reiterate that that's because of the Port Pirates in the rugby union, not because these are all Port Magpies girls.
There are 8 out there, if my counting is correct, which is, you know, a substantial amount of the 14 that they do have playing, or 15 even.
And how many Ps are in the eastern side?
Good, same again. Good, straight to the ball, Chloe. Good, let's go.
9.
Up we go, up we go, Shorty, go.
It is almost a Port Adelaide versus
1 and 2 on the ladder in the moment.
Yep, with guests.
With guests.
Oh, dangerous pass, and it was cut out by McLaughlin. Now they can go. I've got a 3-on-1-ish. We'll send it forward towards Cass. Appleyard again. Just absolutely solid outside that circle. You can't get past her.
Yeah, she's got really good hand-eye, or both the Appleyards do, and similar to why Waters plays the deepest defender is because they win the ball more often than they miss it.
I mean, you know, we talk about that Port Adelaide side, and if you have Appleyard at the back and then Harrison sitting just in front of that, and then the other Appleyard in front of that, the spine of the Port Adelaide side is incredibly good.
Wellstead, Rudd, you can name names on that team.
Finally will be wrestled under control by Bridgeland, but she'll lose out to Rudd almost straight away. Rudd now has Dawes moving into a dangerous position. Can she find it? Yes, she can. Dawes, with that control that we talked about, just couldn't get it into a hitting position off the first touch. Just ran away from her somewhat. Shand will look to build from the back. Sends it forward. Nice touch. First time ball to Selvenderen. Then she will send it down the line to Carter. Carter has the formidable Appleyard to beat and can't do it. It would be a red letter day, you think, if she gets beaten one-on-one, wouldn't it? Grist, who's dropped more into a playmaker position again, will start off, send it back to Waters. Waters will send it back to Grist. Grist will cross into the 25 towards the byline. Then we'll get a circle entry, send it toward Carter. Carter comes back out, then puts it across the front. Deflected towards goal by McKenna. But again, just the accuracy letting them down somewhat. So we approach just gone 3 minutes to go. Fired out again by Appleyard, and that's
in the corner.
That's not a bad result.
No, that's well placed, putting him right in the pocket. As we see, the Pirates happy to put everyone forward now and try to win the ball.
A good stick will deflect it towards Spano. Spano with a great ball to Rudd. Rudd will hit the post. Still in the circle, still dangerous. Finally, McLaughlin will get it away to Evans. Evans will just fire it forward. She will find McKenna. McKenna will get it under control. Blue shirts are starting to come forward. Appleyard again. Did it stay in? No. Cass gets a goal. She's worked hard, and I think that would have been the first one we saw from her in the Statewide Super League. Oh. Inches. VAR. Want to bring the VAR in?
Handball penalty, is that the Socceroos would be asking for here?
It certainly would be. Cass will pick it up, sends it down the line, too far in front of McKenna. Let's see whether we can see. Be a tough angle to see. I think he's got it bang on.
Yeah.
Well done, Mr. Umpire.
You can see blue between the white of the ball and the line.
Cass again will get a stick on it, but only as far as Appleyard. Appleyard will beat the first defender in Grist, then send it to Wellstead. Wellstead will get going forward, then fire it into the centre. Waters had to have 2 bites of it, got there eventually. Clearance will be cut out by the Pirates. Good high press and pressure from the Saints. They will find an outlet to Appleyard, who has McLaughlin in front of her. And then was joined by Evans. Pirates again. Wellstead just can't get it under control. Pennington will try and beat Wellstead, and does. Another good first-time ball to Evans. Evans will stop, turn around, find McLaughlin. McLaughlin has Grist on the overlap. Grist will pick it up and cross the 25. Look for a circle entry, gets a circle entry. Tries to fire it across the front. Hoffman was there.
And again, just unable to put it on target when it matters.
No real power in it either to cause any issues if it was there. And again, it's almost rinse and repeat. The 16-yard hit just smashed away by Brooke Appleyard, just to give them a little bit more time. And time is on their side.
Well cut out by Wellstead. She's got 8 seconds to try to make something.
Chopped it somewhat. That's not a bad touch from Dawes. Will she get it back? She does get it back. Still bounces around and still there. Right! That's a good save, even if it is after the siren. Grace Henderson does well. Rudd trying again to just add to her tally. Ladies and gentlemen, we are set up for a finish. I think we'll get to see it again from a different angle on this one. Yeah, definitely out. Well done, Mr. Umpire. No real argument from Sherilyn Cass either. So as we get into quarter number 4, see Courtney Rudd on screen, who's been absolutely clinical, and only the post preventing her scoring in the grand final as well tonight.
Yeah, it was a well-placed shot outside the keeper's legs. But it came from nothing. They won the ball, long ball from Wellstead, little one-touch across from Dawes. And that's probably been, as I said earlier, the difference is they're making chances out of nothing and converting, whereas the Saints are working really hard, probably dominating the mid-sections of each quarter, just unable to score goals.
Well, they say a picture tells 1,000 words. We just saw the 2 differences in the huddles. We saw Dan Mitchell very, very animated, and everybody listening and everybody serious. And we cut back to the Pirates huddle, which is loose and enjoying themselves and relaxed, and they're in the box seat.
Yeah,
coming into this 4th quarter.
As long as they don't do anything wrong, you just assume that they've won this game. So the Saints have to do everything right. They've got to convert early, put some scoreboard pressure back on the Pirates. But from here, the Pirates just have to stay in cruise control.
4 goals in 15 minutes. Well, 3. So I'm assuming we go to one-on-ones tonight, or are we just a straight draw?
You'd have if this ended on a
for
draw.
6 months apart.
I would be disappointed with Hugh Purvis if this went to a draw.
Throw Hughie Purvis straight under the bus.
It's his initiative as a high-performance manager, so...
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would like to get to bed at some point tonight, because we do have another full game of hockey after this one, as the men will grace the turf here at the State Hockey Centre. So we will start again, and the Pirates will start on attack. You would think that a goal would break the soul of the Saints.
Light whistle. Well, absolutely. It would definitely... A 4th goal here would almost seal the win.
But is there that... Well, there is no panic. I mean, you can concede 2 goals and still then park the bus, and Shan does well, beats the first one. Then we'll go down the line, just couldn't bring it under control. Eliza Gray with an exasperated look on her face. We'll give it into Evans. Evans will send it forward to Cass. Cass will get it under control. Come back inside, look for another circle entry, gets there. Cut out by Appleyard. Cleared away. Grist has moved back into that striker role. Sent it to Evans with a good first-time shot. There is Sherilyn Cass. finally got a name on the score sheet. Finally got on the scoreboard. Here come the Saints. The Saints are coming.
13 minutes and 30 seconds to go as well. Couldn't have scored it any earlier, I don't think.
First time ball from Evans. First time shot from Cass. Not the strongest shot in the world, but placed very, very well. And as the excitement builds in the stadium, Dan Mitchell gets louder.
He only will get more animated as well during his game.
Oh, he is playing tonight, isn't he?
He's going for the double. It's a rarity.
Never been done before. McLaughlin will stand over it. Go back to Waters and then out to Shand. Shand will get her head up. A red wall faces her. She has to pick a pass. Pick a pass she does to Carter. Carter has it poked away. She will look inside to McLaughlin. McLaughlin will look to beat the first one. Does beat the first one. Then will win the free hit. Starting to build up. I feel almost like a horse race caller as this will get more and more frantic as we get towards the end. Evans will find McLaughlin. McLaughlin will get another circle entry. Poked away. Not far enough.
Great tackle.
Whistle went to mouth. It's going to be a Pirates ball, whatever. They play the advantage, and it will go to Dawes, and Dawes will break. Dawes is one-on-one. Dawes gets shut down. Then it will go out for a long corner. Grace Henderson might have to deal with more than one of them in the next 12 minutes and change. Appleyard fires it forward, cut out by Evans. Evans just threads the pass through to Cass. Grist points where she wants it, and that's not where she wanted it.
That's where you would have seen a feed pass like Collins did earlier in the game, rather than a slap, because it's just too far in front. Unless you're Usain Bolt, I don't think many people are getting that one.
Pirates will build from the back with Appleyard. Appleyard with a very well disguised pass to Wellstead. Wellstead will get on her bike. Shand will come across and shut the door, and then Evans will take over. Sends it in field to McLaughlin. McLaughlin will look to give it back to Evans. Evans will get her head up. She will send it down the line to Grist. That's the ball Grist wants. Another circle entry. Can she find a foot? Can she find a ball? She does send it across. Great save. Big blocker hand save. Pushed it away, and that will start the break for the Pirates. Then it will find its way out to Rudd. Spano will work into the centre of it. Spano picks it up. Couldn't quite control it, and the Pirates will give it up, and the Saints will come away. McLaughlin, nice stick work. Sends it out to Pennington. Pennington will go one more. Just too far in front, and the Pirates will slow things down as best they can. And we can take a break.
You can breathe now.
Mitten sends it forward, only as far as Shand. Shand will find McLaughlin. McLaughlin with two Pirates for company. Stopped, then decided to go right through the middle of them. Then we'll send it out to Salvenderen. Nice ball into space for Salvenderen to chase. She'll go down the line. Good defensive work over there. I think that's Holland Smith over there. McLaughlin will steal it off the end of the stick. It will come to Salvenderen. Back into the middle to Shand. Shand with 3D skills gets it knocked away, but only as far as McLaughlin, and now the Pirates will look to come again. Not a bad free hit from Bridgeland, allowing her teammates the time to get back. Now they will have to go again. Shand.
McKenna
comes out to McKenna.
Not a lot of support here. Outnumbered by the Pirates, and they're happy to come away with the ball.
Shand was brave. And it goes in field to Wellstead. Wellstead will look to go out one more. Loads of time and space. Can she find a pass? Waters does well in front and concedes the long corner. Not seeing the defensive formation that we saw from the Pirates in the first half. 9 minutes, 2 seconds to go. Wellstead gets in the circle. Salvenderen does very, very well. Oh, I thought she'd done enough Thought Wellstead backed into her and Salvendra held her ground.
It's a tough one there. Umpires on the baseline. There's a few players in between. You can hear the orders from Daniel Mitchell downstairs, sending strikers high. He wants to play with a permanent forward and someone in the attacking half just to stay as a dangerous option at all times.
So, Wellstead will look to inject. Injection comes. Trap is good. Appleyard will send it back to Wellstead. Comes off the stick, went high. Shand will have to deal with it and get rid of it. Finally they do. Shand barks orders to send it down the line. Collins will get hold of it, but Bridgeland is going to be first there. Good desperation from Bridgeland. She will then send it to Salvenderin. Send it down the line once more. Pirates will be able to bring it in. Overhead will only go as far as Shand. And it will go back. The Saints still trying to be as patient as they can possibly be. Back to Waters.
Still have 8 minutes, just plenty of time.
Good overhead by Waters, just Evans couldn't trap it and bring it under control.
Semi-central, 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 good. Let's go. Wind it again. Turn the ball over here, turn the ball over.
Pirates again will try and come out. Evans almost did better.
Semi-stay, 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 semi-stay. Cut their line, yeah.
And they will go out. Oh, just lost control of it, Minton. McLaughlin sends it back to Shand. Shand does well getting across halfway, but has to come back to McLaughlin. And it will go down the line to Evans. Evans looked again for that first time ball. Couldn't quite get there. Spano versus Shand. Spano looking on the outside. Just uses her pace to tried to get around the outside, but Shand did very, very well. Unfortunate, I thought, to give away the free hit, but she worked very, very hard.
Yeah, I didn't think Spano was actually working for the ball there.
Evans again with that first time pass to Cass. Cass knocked it a little bit too far in front, then we'll send it forward towards Grist. Grist, can she put any pressure on Appleyard? Appleyard will chop it away. Grist put enough pressure on to cause the mistake. Then she'll hit it first time to McLaughlin. McLaughlin cannot pass the formidable Appleyard. Just fired into the feet of Cass. That's the one I feel that's a little bit harsh. That's a free hit. I always have. Oh, Cass does well to bring that one out the air. Has Carter option. Carter can't bring it under control. Chases. Not a bad place to concede the push in. Making the intercept, that's good coaching.
Yeah, so telling all these players to step in front, back their ability to win the ball.
Overhead comes, Cass does well, judge the flight well.
I'm not sure
chucked away by Spano.
Fine.
Yeah.
She was definitely not 5 in that situation.
Evans will go quickly. Finally they will go with Cass. Cass has it taken off a stick by Ford. Wellstead will look to take on Evans. Evans does well to get her feet out of the way. Shand goes to Grist. Grist will look for a circle entry. Manages to send it across the front. Cass, that's what we like, get on your front, get wet. Just couldn't get any power behind it. Pirates again trying to get out, and Evans again with the intercept. Good butt forward to Cass. Cass looks to drag it around the corner.
Got 2.
Cass will get 2.
And we've got a game on our hands with 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go. 3-2. This is what we ordered.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you could write it, a Cass Oh, that's outside.
No, where the ball finishes, so it's in the hook of her stick.
Okay.
Shot starts outside, but because the ball doesn't actually leave her
Stays all
stick.
the way, does it? Does it stay in all the way?
It does. There's no way it can leave her stick until it's at least in the circle.
Okay. I'm not sure. We'll have a look at that in slow motion, I think. It's a talking point. But if you could write the story, what odds would you give for a Sherilyn Cass hat-trick to take us to 3-all?
As a Saints fan, a lot. You can have my bank account.
The Saints are coming. 4 minutes to go. Bridgeland will knock that one out of the air, then get it back. Bridgeland will look in field. Appleyard will do well and knock it away. Spano was coming, couldn't quite get there. It's going to find its way through to Carter. Carter can't trap it, and Wellstead will go and pick it up. Grist will chase. Wellstead will fire it down the line, and Evans will intercept again. Evans will send it to Carter. Carter has options left and right.
Oh, great tackle.
Good tackle by Appleyard, but manages to get it on the feet of Carter. Another free hit, 3.5 minutes to go. The men away to our left with the red socks on have given up on their warm-up. They are watching this game. Pirates will send it forward again. Cut out in the air. Is there a ball available? McLaughlin made herself available. Appleyard had cut down that option. Appleyard again will get a stick on it. McLaughlin hangs it out too close to Spano. Spano will get going forward. Great tackle. Now the Saints can come again. Over halfway. Eliza Gray sends it out to Carter. Carter will look to get around the outside. Does get around the outside. Gets another circle entry. Appleyard will knock it behind for a long corner. 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Here's that slow motion. Hard to tell from that angle, but I'll give it you.
Oh, you know I'm right.
And we are seeing a bib go on. The kicking back is happening. One thing I will say about the kicking back, if she just goes and stands in the circle,
it's pointless.
It's pointless.
Correct, but I think Eliza has been given the instructions to stay up.
I mean, it's all or nothing at this point. McLaughlin will send it out to Shand. Shand could not get past the long arms of the doors. Shand will go again. Happy to come all the way back to Waters.
And this is
there is just blue shirts everywhere. Wellstead will cut it out in the circle. 2 minutes 20 to go. Wellstead has to go forward. They will go forward to Rudd. Dawes gets on her bike to the middle. Spano is in the middle. Spano will get there. Spano sends it towards goal, and that is a save.
It's still in play though.
Still there, still going. Fired across the front. McLaughlin will get a stick on it. Free hit will go the way of the Saints.
Great work by Gray there. Body on the line. I think she got all stick in that, but you know, fantastic.
First one was definitely off her legs.
Kicking fullback, that's their privileges.
Gray finds Evans. Evans will send it around the corner. Wellstead got enough on it to stop it. Ford sends it across to Whittaker. Whittaker will get going forward. Knocked away just briefly by McLaughlin. Whittaker goes again to Appleyard. Appleyard turns all the way around the corner. Gets it knocked away eventually, but free hit will go. Shand fires it forward. Now they can build. Here come the States with Hoffman. Hoffman just fired at a goal. Appleyard will send it. They will get the long corner. Pirates doing everything they can to slow this ball down. 1 minute to go. Shand has it cut away and gives away the free hit. Now the Pirates, you would think, would slow things down. Just pump the brakes a little bit. Appleyard will take over. She'll be in absolutely no hurry. Spano fires it over the top. Dawes can't get it under control. How quickly can they get it going forward, the Saints? 30 seconds to go. There's a whistle. There's 2 balls on. Dawes rather helpfully fires it away to Waters. Waters just has to send it forward. She does. Comes off the foot of a Pirates player towards the front for the Saints. Pirates will get it away again into the final 10 seconds, and Wellstead will come away. Shand will chase. Numbers are there. Dawes will find a way into the circle. Spano will get there. Spanner will miss, but that will probably be it, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, somebody lit a fire under this grand final. The Pirates will win it 3-2. Shattered. Both sides absolutely shattered.
Yeah, great fourth quarter by both teams. A little too late for the Saints women, unfortunately, only 2 goals. But they pushed them right to the end, and that's a great game for us to finish the Super League on.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the first ever statewide Super League champions. It's the Western Pirates, unbeaten in the league stage, beating the Eastern States 3-2. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere. We will be back with the men's final, which will be the Southern Storm taking on the Western Pirates.